Start us off. This is a cool looking fish. Alright guys, so I'm finally here, ready to explore some new water. It is a little after 5:30. I didn't know where to go. Where I parked, there are a pile of vehicles. I haven't seen any fishermen yet, but I'm sure they're here somewhere. We're just gonna give it a go and see what happens. Hopefully there will be some fish rising tonight. Haven't seen any yet. Don't really see a lot of bugs, but I'm excited. This is the first time I'm really exploring new water since before the actual trout season opened up. And the first time I'm fishing new big water like this in a long time. Okay, that's a fish. I thought I was just stuck. Oh, he popped off. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. I didn't even set the hook. He actually tore me off. Tore my Frenchie off. I'll have to tie a new one on and get back after him. There we go. Can we keep this one on? We land our first fish on the new river. Easy, buddy. Come on. Not sure which fly he took just yet. Oh, and there he popped off. I think he was on the Frenchie. And the first fish will have to wait. Alright, we got another chance at one. And we keep this one calm enough to get him in the net. I don't think I had the best hook set here. It's like a decent fish. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Keep down, buddy. Stay down, buddy. Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good. He's off of there, for sure. I think he got himself tangled on my, snagged on my second fly. So he's way down there. Probably gonna tear me off. See if I can skip him up in here. He definitely wasn't snagged to start. All right. Yeah, he's got the first fly in his mouth. Start us off. Another one. Man. Quick release on that little guy. Right up against that wall. That's the third one now. This is actually the second net I've found today. This one was just hung up on this tree here. It's an eagle claw rubber net. I mean, I'm not gonna leave it here. Take it with me. Another real lunker here. That's all right. It's been a minute since we hooked one, so I'll take it at this point. See if we can land them. We're not doing so hot. We're like 1 for 6. Where's he at? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Okay, you were in the net. You count. Just gonna get you by hand. When they're on that top fly, putting them in the net seems to just make a mess. There we go. 9, 10 inch fish maybe. Not too bad. Some nasty wading. Thought I could at least find one out there. Oy. He's on the top fly too. So I'm just gonna grab him. Keep him from getting tangled up. Wet my hand. Pop that Frenchie, sulfur Frenchie out and let him go. Oh, I'm just in the nastiest of water. Literally can't even move. Another one for the Frenchie. They don't like my hare's ear here. Hey, easy. It's a pretty fish. Big red spots. All right, guys, so tonight was kind of a bust. No fish rising, not a whole lot of bugs. So I'm calling it a night here. I got to find a spot to sleep. And I'm actually about to just go for a swim. I feel kind of crusty, been walking around fishing, sweating all day. It's gonna be cold, but you know, it'll feel good to just get rinsed off. So then I'll get dried off, find a spot to sleep, maybe fry up some hot dogs real quick, and then call it a night. Here we go. Took on the swing out. Nice little brownie. Can I get on the board today? Come here, buddy. Took the sulfur Frenchie. It's been a hot fly the past day. There's another fish well down on the swing out. Maybe that's gonna be an important factor here this morning. Definitely gonna start swinging them out on most drifts. I'm working my way upstream. I fished over that fish with dead drifts. He didn't take it, but he did on the swing. This one's on the soft tackle hare's ear. It's a pretty little fish. Another one on the swing. I can't get anything on a dead drift, but it seems when I'm about to take a step forward to cast into new water, they hit. That one I believe is on the sulfur. Just a little fella. Yeah, I mean, I can't find the fish on the dead drift, at least not yet. There we go. That's a better fish, I think. Feels like a better fish. Come on, buddy. Take her easy now. Nothing big, bigger than the last couple, I think. At least bigger than the one that just got off. Thanks, buddy. There you go. I feel my fly bouncing on the bottom. I was down to the fish, and he picked it up. I really hope he doesn't come off, because if he does, my line is shooting straight into this tree. I don't think he's a real big fish. Another one for the sulfur. I'm just gonna grab him. Whenever they're on that top fly, if they're not a real big fish, I just try and grab them, because you put them in the net, they often get tangled up. Little fella. Ooh, there we go. Back-to-back cast. This one feels okay. Looks like a decent fish. Burying himself in the current, keeping himself towards the bottom. Once again, really hoping he doesn't come off, because I do not want to be fishing my flies out of this tree. Come on, buddy. Show yourself here. This one is on the hare's ear, I believe. Oh yeah, nice fish. Oh, come on, don't pop off now. There we go. Definitely the nicest fish of the day. Probably the nicest fish of this stream for me so far. I don't know. I don't think I'm real great at guessing the sizes. 12, 13 inches maybe. Definitely worthy of a picture. Thanks, buddy. Nice fish. Alright, so I fished for about 3 hours here in the first spot this morning. I did okay. I caught 5 or 6 fish. I had, I don't know, quite a few that got off. They were really taking it on the swing, and when it swings out like that, for whatever reason, I don't get very good hook sets. So, you know, it was a decent spot. There's a lot of good water. Like I said, I did okay, but part of fishing a new stream for the first time for me is just kind of like the exploration of it. So I'm going to head to where I was yesterday when I first got here, and I'm going to keep fishing upstream. I didn't make it very far because I wanted to try and find some better dry fly water, hoping there would be a hatch, and, you know, there wasn't. But I'm going to head back up into those riffles and see if I can pick up some fish on some nymphs and just get an idea of what the water's like, because it's a pretty long drive for me to get here. So when I plan to come back in the future, I want to have more options than just 1 or 2 spots. I want to get an idea of what the water's like in different places. So I'm just going to go do some exploring, do some fishing, and see how it goes. Man, it's been a real struggle today keeping fish on. I just can't catch a fish. I just don't understand. It's beyond frustrating. You know, it sucks when you're fishing and you're not getting any takes at all, when it's just a slow day. But when the fish are biting and you just cannot land one, it is very frustrating. Let's see how this one goes. Second fish that took back in that, right up against that tree there. Maybe this one's hooked good. Come on, stay down. Now come in here, on the hare's ear. Woo! Got one to the net. It's a minor miracle. There you go, everyone took on a dead drift. Not too many of those today. Can we land 2 in a row? Come on, buddy. Oh, he's right here. He's just gotta come to the surface. And He's on the top fly, so I'm just gonna grab him. Little fella. Hey, I was just trying to walk out. The little guy on the swing. Is it a chub or a brownie? It's a little brownie. I think that might be part of the reason I'm losing so many fish today. I think that they are little guys like this. You know, I'm just feeling the tap and then they're gone. This water is absolutely raging. I mean, I'm waist deep and it is almost impossible to move. I don't know what my game plan is here. Gonna have to try and stay close to the bank, I think, and just make the most of it. Oh man, that was a nice fish. That would have been the nicest fish of the day. There's a lot of fish holding tight to the banks, but I'm telling you, this water is just trying to kill you. And it's not exactly easy to get cast against these banks everywhere. Man, that would have been a good fish to have. Seems like a decent fish. This water's just brutal. I think if the flows were lower, it would probably fish pretty good. But right now, with it being high, it's pushing a lot of fish towards the bank. And it's just hard to wade out there and get them. Come on, buddy. Oh, don't turn around like that. Not sure which fly he's on. I think it's softer. Yeah. It's a pretty fish. It's just a cool looking fish. Nice, decent fish maybe. Oh. So much current, it's hard to tell how big the fish really is. I think I can see him here. He's decent. Took the hare's ear. There he goes. I couldn't find my net. Oh no, and now he wrapped me up in that tree. That is very unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention when he popped off there and sent my flies right into the tree. I don't think they're coming back either. I don't know what else I can do. I just can't catch the fish. They bite. They've been biting. I just can't hook them. There we go. Is that a nice one? I can't tell. It's swimming right towards me. Oh. Let's see if we can keep one on here. First fish we've actually hooked up on in a while here. Oh man. He's running pretty good. Trying to anyway. Oh, what? Okay, he's stuck on a limb now. Okay, we got him off the limb. He snagged? Yeah, he snagged. That's why he felt funny. Yeah, about average for the day. There we go. Caught that last one right down there. I'm on a second one here. This one's on the sulfur perdigon. I switched my flies up. These are the smallest pair of flies I've fished all day. Took my big hare's ear off. Might be the nicest fish of the day. Pretty sure it is. Little fella. Which one did he take? Not getting my net out. I think he's on the Rainbow Warrior. Yes, sir. Just a little guy, but again, I'm guessing that's a lot of those are what the takes are that I'm missing, are just little fish. But it's so frustrating when you're getting pretty steady bites and you go a long period of time without even really hooking up on one. About to give up on this. I made a couple of drifts through there with no takers, and that was probably going to be my last cast. He took it. I think another Rainbow Warrior eater. Yes, sir. Quick release. Good thing for barbless hooks. Went right into my finger. But we love barbless hooks. Hey, a jumper. A jumper. I kind of hit that from below. I guess I was more fishing towards that rock rather than this one. I flipped one out there from this angle and fish on. Definitely willing to eat. I mean, I'm pushing at least 40, close to 40 takes today. That one took the sulfur perdigon. I don't know how many fish I've landed now. Probably 15 or so. Counting that one. That one's also on the perdigon. Right here's where I just had that last one. Gotten into a pretty good little stretch of fish here. Now my net's tangled up back here. I can't even get to it. So this one's got to come in by hand. Wouldn't mind him flopping off right now either. Oh, come here. Don't break me off. Not a bad one. Alright, I gotta get my net fixed. I can actually see that fish come and grab the fly. He took the Rainbow Warrior. Not a bad one either. Come here, little buddy. Ooh, keeping his head down. Nice. Definitely bigger than average for the day. I rarely ever fish a Rainbow Warrior, but I was just, oh, I dropped before I could get a picture. I was just looking for something in my box that was a little smaller, but still heavy enough to get down. And something with a hot spot, because the perdigon doesn't have a hot spot on it that I'm fishing. And it's pulled some fish to the net, so certainly happy with it. Woo! Just about to say, I was in a little bit of a rut. I was on a roll just right down here. Now I fished through a couple of spots that I thought should hold fish and didn't, but back on one here. He's on the Rainbow Warrior as well. Come here, buddy. Whoa, Nelly. It's a good looking fish. Ooh, I just saw one come after it as I was pulling it out of the water. I don't know if he'll come back for it here or not. He's right behind this flat rock. Right there. Yep. Yep. I saw him come up right when I went to make another cast. Oh, he's running. I wonder if he's snagged. I might have been a little early on the hook set in anticipation. He's in the mouth. Nice of you to come back for it, fella. Nice fish. Ooh, that was an aggressive take. Oh, I can see a couple more. He spooked a couple when he took off swimming. That's cool. There are multiple fish in there. And I'm sure there are multiple fish in a lot of these spots. It's a nice fish relative to the average for the day. Probably a little above average. He's on the Rainbow Warrior. Chunky fish. Heck yeah. Yeah, when he took off, fish started darting out underneath these rocks. I thought maybe I had two for a second, but that's all right. I'll settle for one. There we go. I missed two. I don't know if this is one of the ones I missed or not, but I missed two in there and finally hooked one. Just a small guy on the Perdigon. Quick release on him. Frustrations are back here a little bit. So unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And this ripple, I mean, it's a long ways down. I fished the whole way up, kind of from the middle of the creek over. And just hammer fish. It was an absolute blast. I was having a real frustrating day. I kind of melted away all those issues. But now I'm fishing what looks like pretty good water. I know down here farther, this side didn't look so good. That's why I was kind of just fishing over here. But it looks pretty good now. There's some depth, some riffles. I'm struggling to move a fish. I've had two hits now, one up there and one here, and I'm back to losing the fish. So hopefully we can get another one or two. I'm just gonna fish what I can down to the end of this ripple and then try and make my way back to the truck. So we'll see if we can get another fish or two. All right, third time's the charm. Oh, he's under a rock. He's gonna tear me off. Get out from under that rock, buddy. There we go. Oh, he came off in front of me. He did tear me off. I knew that was gonna happen. He got tucked right under the corner of this rock here. I couldn't get him out fast enough. He got my line tore. Oh well. There was an aggressive take. He smacked that. Oh. Trying to keep him away from the rocks so he doesn't tear me off too. Keep him above him. I put a Rainbow Warrior back on in place of the one I lost, and that's what he's on. That one was a little different looking than the rest. A lot more spots on that one. This is the one negative to fishing my way back down. I kind of fished up at the top of this pool first. You know, there may have been one down at the bottom. If there was, it's surely spooked now. But it is what it is. If I can pick up a fish or two along the way down, that's worth it. Whoa, that thing smoked it. I was just late with the hook set. It jumped and threw me off. That thing hit hard. There's a little guy on the swing out. He got the sulfur purring on. And I actually hooked him. Woo! Well guys, I decided to hit the path and call it a day. Had a pretty good afternoon there. Super excited about it. Just an absolute blast. But my waders have been leaking all day, so I'm soaked. I got about a little less than a 2-hour drive into camp. I'm gonna maybe get up there before the hatch starts tonight. Hopefully there's a hatch coming off, and then chase some stockfish. So be sure to stick around for that coming up here in the next couple of videos. I'm sure I'll get at least one, probably even 2 or 3 from up at camp this weekend. Mostly stockfish. I'm excited. There is a section I've never fished before that I think should hold some wild browns. Then I might chase some brookies as well. We'll just see how things go.